Hey guys, Tyson with Drain and Clean Spas here. I'm out in Fruit Heights, Utah, cleaning a hot tub I've cleaned a few times. Just gonna walk you through the process of how to do a proper drain and clean if you're ambitious and wanna do it yourself. So stay tuned, go through this episode. I'll walk it down step by step and show you how to get it done. So step one is to remove all of the headrests, and we are going to remove the filters. The reason we're going to do this is because step two is to add a drain and pump cleaner into the water. I like the Awesome brand. There's quite a few brands, so whatever you prefer. This one is more of a commercialized brand, so it does a heck of a job, but it also requires a little extra elbow grease and scrubbing. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of that to the water. So you'll see it doesn't take much added in there. It's a very powerful chemical. Once we put that into the water, we're gonna go ahead and turn all the jets on high speed. You'll see there's gonna be quite a bit of bubble action right away, especially with warm water. And I forgot to mention, we definitely want hot, warm water inside the spa. That's going to help the chemical dissolve faster, and it's going to help it be more effective. So we're going to let this run for a good 30 minutes or so before we drain, and you'll see it'll start to build up more and more as it gets more of that contaminant out of the lines. While this chemical is running and purging the jet lines and the pumps and everything, and you can see all that gunk coming out, we're going to do a couple of things. One, we're going to treat the filters to some spa filter cleaner. We're going to spray down the entire surface area until it's all soaked. We're also going to go ahead and close this cover. You can see how there's a lot of dirt built into the cover. We're going to get that wet, and then we're going to scrub it with a microfiber cloth. I like to use the mop pads. You can take the heads off and wash them. You got the pole so you can reach the entire thing. So we're going to get it wet, and then we're going to scrub it down while those filters are sitting with filter cleaner on them. Just to show you, we're just going to take the filter cleaner, spray it on. We just want to get the entire surface area sprayed here. And this cleaner is not bad to the cover. It's not going to do anything to it. So not hurting anything here, but just getting full coverage. Now, while I'm washing the cover and cleaning the filters and all that, I do have a hose set up here that's going to fill this reserve tank. Gotta turn it on here, and I've got a filter set up on there. That's gonna remove a lot of the harsh contaminants, so we've got nice clean water. We're gonna move this water into the hot tub once we're finished to cut down our time. You know, it can take a couple hours to fill up a hot tub. So what this is gonna do is fill up, over the next few hours while we're cleaning, and that way it's gonna reduce the amount of time that we gotta be here. But I like to cheat and use a power washer. This is gonna do a great job, especially on the exterior cabinet and the steps. But for that cover, I'm gonna stand back a little bit. I wanna get the cover wet, but I don't want to put a lot of pressure on the cover. So if you do like to use a power washer, don't power wash the cover up close. That's just going to damage it. So use this scrubber. Now I've got it wet. We're going to take this scrubber and we're going to hand scrub the entire cover. So with that scrubber, we're just going to work the cover back and forth until we break up a lot of that dirt. And then once that dirt's broken up, we'll go ahead with the hose and just rinse the entire cover off. Once again, this breaks up the dirt, and then rinsing it will wash that dirt off the cover. So right here now you can kind of see how much dirt is coming off of this cover out of this water. So now that we've got the cover all cleaned, scrubbed, rinsed off, we're going to go ahead and just put it up on the cover lifter. We're going to let that dry. Now, we do have some moldy stuff in here. Now, this stuff is more durable, so we are going to get in there with the power washer and remove this real quick. So now that we've got all of that surface removed, what we're gonna do is take some Drain and Clean Spa's surface cleaner. It has a lot of vinegar in it and other natural chemicals. If you haven't heard about it, you can purchase it on Amazon here shortly. But it's gonna help to kill anything microbial that's left on. So I'm just gonna go ahead and spray that all the way down the line here, just to make sure that we don't get any of that growth coming back. Okay, now we've got the cover clean, the filters are soaking, we've got all the mold and mildew off, we've treated it with some of our cleaner. You can see the color of this foam and how yummy it's looking inside of here. So everything that's built up in the jet heads, the jet lines, the pumps, you know, all the oils and lotions and dead skin cells and all that yummy stuff is now coming out into the surface. What we're gonna do is we're gonna come over here to the breaker box and we're gonna go ahead and turn this off. And the reason we wanna turn it off is we're gonna go ahead and put our pump in here and we're gonna drain this water out. Now, this customer is pretty lucky and lives next to a drainage pond area, so we're just gonna pump the water out there, but typically it is okay to put it on the grass as long as you haven't put chlorine or other harsh chemicals in. All the chemicals we're using are pretty natural, low-key. They're not gonna affect the grass. I haven't had any instance in the hundreds of hot tubs I've cleaned, so. But we're gonna put the pump in and we're gonna get all this yummy water out of here. For those of you who don't know what I mean by pump, I've got what we call a sump pump right here. A lot of people use these in their basements to keep from flooding. They're not very expensive. You know, you can get one for $100 at Home Depot. I've got different lengths of hoses that I can attach to it. But I'm just gonna put this in the water, run the hose where I want the water to go, and then just plug it in. For those of you that don't have a pump and don't want to invest in a pump, there is a drain plug right here. So what you can do is undo the cap, hook your hose up, and then when you pull that drain out, it will start the flow of water, and then it will use gravity to drain your spa, which if you're up on a deck like this hot tub, that's great. If you're down low, it can be quite slow. So prepare for some extra time in that. For me, I like to use the pump, get it out of here in 20 to 30 minutes. So you can see I've got this hose running up to the spa. All I gotta do is turn the power on and we'll be pumping water into the drainage area. Now, while that water is draining out, it's a great time to take this power washer and we're gonna power wash the exterior and the steps, make sure they're nice and clean. So now we've got the exterior all clean, we've got the steps nice and clean. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take all the seats and put them over here because this is a Bullfrog spa. Bullfrog has the advantage of most of the plumbing in the seat and you can interchange them. You can change them out for new ones, but it does mean you're gonna get a little bit of buildup behind the seat. So we're gonna wanna take each one of those out. We're gonna spray it with our cleaner, cover the entire surface, scrub it, and then we'll power wash all of it down. Now we've got all the jet packs out, we've got cleaner on them, so that cleaner should break up everything. We're gonna go ahead, take our power washer, and we're gonna rinse all that off, and then we'll take this microfiber cloth and again go over it just one more time, make sure that everything is removed. Cleaning the jet packs, I also like to clean the filter area or the filter cover, and you can see it gets some pretty gnarly buildup on the backside. We want to get rid of that. So now we've got the back sides of the seats all cleaned up. We're going to go ahead and clean the front side. You can see there's some dirt residue built up on all of these. Just little specks, lines, things like that, which, you know, some areas are worse than others, but a clean hot tub needs to be clean everywhere. So we'll get these cleaned up. So now we've got all the fronts of these shined up. You can see this cleaner does a fantastic job. Removes any contaminants from the surface. just nice and shiny. Really does a great job, and you don't have to worry about the vinegar smell either because it's covered up with those essential oils. But yeah, it looks great. Now we have to move on to the interior, and you'll see the interior is pretty dirty. So there's some residual water. We've got some gunk left over. Pretty much the whole top line of the shell has something on it. But you know, the entire thing, we're gonna need to take our shop vac over here, suck out the rest of the water, including the water that's in these jet lines. So we're gonna put the shop vac right to the jet line, suck all the dirty water out from inside those lines, and then once we got that all sucked out, we'll climb in with our cleaner and we'll scrub the entire shell. So now we got the shop vac all set up, ready to go. We're gonna suck all the water from this tub and just stick it right in there. Once we've got all the water sucked out from inside the tub, again, we want to put the nozzle right into the line, suck as much water out as possible. We're also going to put it on each jet head to make sure we remove all the water. We'll also take the covers off there, and we will suck the water out of the filters as well, just to make sure we get all the dirty water out of the lines. So now that we have the spa nice and dry, all the water's out of it, we're gonna go ahead, take our rag, take our cleaner, and we're gonna scrub this thing top to bottom. Just to show kind of a close-up, you can see the scum line right here, and we'll go ahead and give that a good spray down. Let it sit for just a second. Let the cleaner do its job. Let me go ahead and take the rag, and it just wipes off. Now we have these little black things in this one. They take a little bit of a nail to get off, but we will be able to get this thing shined up looking nice. Just from scrubbing down the tub, you can see all the dirt that comes off. So now what I'll do, that it's scrubbed, is go ahead and rinse it off, and then once it's all rinsed off, we'll use the shop vac and suck out all this nasty water. There we go. It's scrubbed down, it's sprayed down, and all of the yucky water has been vacuumed out. And now it's looking real nice and shiny. Time to put it back together, and then we will put the water back in. Now that the majority of the tub is clean, the big stuff, now we're gonna put a nozzle on the hose, and we're going to use that to clean out the filters. We don't want to do it with the power washer. It will actually damage the filters. But you can see how dirty they are. Just after having that chemical sit on there, you can see just right away that difference and how effective that chemical is at removing the oils and the other debris. And you can see that before and after. It's pretty crazy how fast that stuff works. But so yeah, you use that filter cleaner at least once a month. Some people, they go longer than that. You can even soak it in the filter cleaner if you want to, and keep 2 pairs of filters. But any way you want to do it, that filter cleaner is going to be pretty effective, and you can reuse those filters. The ones like this for up to 2 years. The newer tubs with the flat filters, you're going to want to change those at least every 3 months. They're a little bit more difficult to clean, but they do just as good of a job. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and rinse these 2 out. For the headrests, we're just going to use our cleaner and a rag. We want to be soft to these as well, as you know, over time they can start to get brittle. So we just want to get any dirt and grime off of them, make sure there's no mold or mildew or anything like that. And then we'll get them put back into place, and this hot tub will be put back together. So now we're going to put the pump inside the tank, and we're going to put the hose in the filter area. The reason we're doing this and putting water down through the filter pump is so that we can prevent, or hopefully prevent, any type of airlock. Just getting some water down inside the pump and filling those lines to prevent the air from getting trapped inside. If it does, it's not a problem. We'll just toggle on and off You can see the water coming out of the filters, or I'm sorry, out of the jets. Now you will also see a couple pieces of debris floating around, things that just got stuck that are now made their way out. We'll go ahead with our spa net and spa vacuum and clean those up once the tub is full. But yeah, you want to fill up through this filter box. We've also got the hose running, and then we'll get this filled up here in the next 10-15 minutes. So here we are, about 2.5 hours later. The spa is all clean, outside, inside, behind the jetpacks, the filters, pretty much everything. You can see it looks really nice, it's shiny. There's no more mold or mildew or any of that fun stuff. So we've got the filter hooked up to the hose. It's gonna fill up the rest of the hot tub, and then it'll be ready to go. Got some chemicals here that we're gonna add into the hot tub. I'm gonna do a different episode or a different video showing how to do those chemicals, so we can have a slow step-by-step process for that. But yeah, this customer should be able to get into their hot tub by tomorrow after it heats up, and tomorrow evening they can have a good time.